Another 6:02.
Uh-oh,
Oh.
the video problems are back.
Uh,
We do not have.
See, it's not my fault. It's six, not 6 o'clock.
Nope.
Can I, something,
Start video. I think. Yep, cannot start video, failed to start a video camera, please select another video camera in the settings. Well, do we have another one on?
huh?
Uh-oh.
You could watch it at home, yeah. So if you ever need entertainment on a Thursday night,
Have anybody there?
you can log into
All right,
Village of Homewood.
is this going to be okay? I don't think
Recording sound.
it is, correct. Yep, it's picking up sound here down in the bottom corner and up here.
We've dealt with this before.
Well, in bottom left-hand corner, do you have to click on that?
That's
Oh,
what
yeah.
prompts that warning up there in the.
See.
Click the little arrow, you see it?
The little arrow by the camera
Oh, yeah,
Switch cameras.
and see if we have a different camera.
That's it.
Oh, yeah.
Hey,
Hello. Hello.
Stalled enough.
Is it plugged? Is that plug in the outlet there? It looks like it's uneven.
Oh,
Oh,
Ah,
You broke it now.
That plugged in anymore?
no, okay.
Looks like it's taped.
I can let Rick know. I'll send him an email.
Good,
But-
good to see you.
Are we okay to go audio only on Zoom?
Yeah.
Okay.
fine. We're not required to do it on Zoom. As long as they can hear us, I guess.
All right.
Okay, we can.
oh, all right, okay. I'll call the meeting to order at 6:03. It's the meeting of the Appearance Commission for September 5th, 2024. Welcome, people who are here. Roll call, please.
All right, member Banks?
Here.
Member Shefke?
Here.
Member Preston?
Here.
Member Quirk?
Here.
Member Kidd? Member Club?
Here.
Chair Ryback?
Here.
We have a quorum.
All right, thank you. Next item is the approval of the minutes from the August 1st, 2024 meeting of the Appearance Commission. Do I have any additions, changes, or anything, membership?
On page 6, towards the end of the page, it says member Shefke noted. And the second line, I don't think I said is must more narrow and dense in the actual material.
Did you want to say that?
I hope not. After all the years of education, I think I might have said something.
Maybe it's a typo.
So I think it's a typo.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
all right, that'll be correct.
must be.
Huh?
Okay,
it's probably much.
Much, I believe it would have been right.
Much more.
Much more,
Yeah,
much more dense. Take out the and.
much
And then-
more.
And then in the latter part of the sentence, than the actual material.
okay.
Thank you,
Sure, yep.
thank you.
All right, anybody else? All right, then, do I have a, well, let's do roll call.
Member Banks? Well, do we need a motion to?
We have a motion to approve the minutes of the August 1st, 2024 meeting of the Appearance Commission.
Second.
Motion, seconded.
Move.
First, but we need a first, we need someone to make the motion.
First me.
Banks?
Actually, isn't it the minutes as revised?
As revised, thank you, see,
Very good.
remember what we were talking about, as revised.
Who's the second? It's Cliff the second.
Clark will be the second.
Second, yeah.
There we go. All right, member Banks?
Aye.
Member Shefke?
Aye.
Member Preston?
I wasn't here, so I'm saying.
Member Quirk?
Aye.
Member Club?
Yes.
And Chair Ryback?
Aye. Nice. Great, thank you. Next item is public comments. Is there anybody here who has something that they'd like to bring up or discuss that is not on tonight's agenda? Nobody? All right, and there's nobody online, right?
Not at this time.
Okay, great. We're gonna move on to regular business. Case 24-29, the appearance review for Starbucks at 3047 West 183rd Street.
Right, I apologize, that PowerPoint is not up in the background, so I'll have to grab that very quickly. We've had this issue before, we don't have network drive access down here. I think how I want to do this.
If you've been, lately. You can go to also district. Share.
Yes.
Yeah, it's in the it's in the community drive. Okay,
Wait, did you
Well,
go
the-
to network? Is there anything under network? Nothing?
nothing. No, just.
Log out of,
Yeah, I needed to do this the first time correctly. I would need to bring it downstairs and plug it in down here.
Plug what in?
I'd need to take a jump drive and bring it from upstairs down here and plug it into the back computer. There's no way to access it down here.
Okay, well, we can pause the meeting until. Or yeah, we can move on to the next item and come back.
Yeah.
Unless they're
We'll
upstairs.
move on to the next.
Sure,
All
okay.
right, we'll come back to this. Then we'll move on to the to case 24-34, a sign variance and sign review for Wind Creek Casino and Hotel.
The applicant is not here.
Okay,
They were supposed to be here and they had, something came up so that they couldn't. So
should we put this off
I
for a
think we
moment?
need to continue it to the next meeting.
Okay, we'll continue case 24-34 until the next meeting. See those here. Right, another record meeting.
how's everybody doing?
Good, so you want to move on to the next one then, Angela? I
Yes.
suppose. All right, so case 24-31, the mural proposal at 2033 to 2049 Ridge Road.
Good evening, good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
My name is Terrence Aqua. I am the Assistant Village Manager for Homewood. You're looking at me like I'm like an artist, but I'm definitely not an artist.
Okay.
No worries, but here to discuss the mural project that is happening on the Lulu Bells building. And so I just wanted to give a brief background, and then later I'll introduce the muralist and kind of give a inside of what we plan and how we're going to go about everything. And so we began this project, we were introduced to Mr. Otto by a resident, a member of the board, and he spoke highly of the type of art he was doing, and we just, you know, had a vacant passageway that was unutilized. And so the idea was brought to us about making this more of a interactive passageway instead of, you know, dead space. And so last month we went to the board and we brought to the board a project to install 10 interactive lights that will change colors during any type of events, so we could operate it through the cloud. So let's say if there was breast cancer awareness, we would change those lights to pink. If there was St. Patrick's Day, we would turn it to green. So just try to make the area more lively and instead of, you know, dead space. And so something that could really tie it all together was a mural. And so once again, we met with Mr. Otto and we were, you know, taken back by his work. And we thought this would be a great way to, you know, create some synergy. And so we're really proposing this as a pilot program. So this is something we're just trying out. We're going to see how this works in terms of putting murals around town. I know traditionally we have the Richard Haas murals, and that's something Homewood has been known for. And so we just wanted to try something different. And so this will be our first attempt at it. We'll take a look at it, but we're really pleased with Mr. Otto. We spoke with him and let him know some of the things we wanted to see, incorporate some landmarks of Homewood, and then also, you know, some colors and things of that nature that really ties in the Homewood feel and vibes. And so, Nate, if you want to speak to your previous history.
Yeah, come on up. Welcome.
Hi, my name is Nate Otto. I have been a professional artist and muralist for the last 12 years. In the course, really since about 2015, I've painted about 60 murals. I have had clients such as Walgreens, Nike, Facebook, Chase Bank, Vans. I just did one for PayPal, and I just read an email on the way in here that they're going to hire me for 5 more. So that is a big part of my job. And Jay, the person who contacted me, is a collector of my work, and my work is. I wouldn't say I'm that well known, but I think my work is generally well appreciated. There's nothing controversial about my work. There's never ever an issue. I don't use spray paint. As far as I know, none of my murals have ever been removed or defaced or complained about. I was given a package of the Homewood Village guidelines, and I plan on using the colors involved, like mainly the blue color, and then a couple of secondary colors I would use. And I was given a list of 9 landmarks here in Homewood that they'd like to include in the mural, and I have no problem doing that. And that would make it a fun, kind of interactive way for people to, visit the mural and see, oh, that's fine, that's fine. So I think it could be a really nice addition for Homewood, and it's really a pretty simple process. It would take me probably about a week to complete it. I wouldn't need any special equipment. I have everything. Actually, I have everything in my car right now. I can get started right now. So it's really pretty straightforward. I have a vision already of what I would do, and I think that it would be appreciated in general.
Okay, great, thank you. So is our charge tonight to approve a design or simply give
To give
give
input.
input, but not to approve a specific design?
Yeah, I've gotten the direction from these guys about what they want. I haven't made a mock-up, and I don't plan on making a mock-up. That's generally not part of my process. But yeah, I have formulated an idea in my head, and I know how it would look, and I think it would go over really well.
And
All right, well,
we
why don't
kind of
we-
gave him themes of his previous works, if it could. tie
Yeah,
into that.
I know we got in the packet,
Me
there are
too.
some pictures.
We have one show on the.
Yeah, I can pull it up here. I just grabbed a couple examples so we could blow them up on the screen here and put them in a presentation. One of these. Not that one, that one. Here we are. All right, and I know Terrence gave a little bit of an introduction, so I'll just mostly showing you the location. But I mostly just wanted to show the examples that some of them are included in your packet, but here you can see them in a little bit of a larger size. So here's 2 of those. Here's some more.
So it would be similar to this with some of the landmarks interspersed and the Homewood brand colors.
Yeah, there's like, if you go like 2 slides back, the direction, that one there on the right is kind of the direction that I was given. And I could easily like do that, a similar kind of thing with the 9 landmarks that were included on the list, plus like using the Homewood colors, so we're tying them all, but.
Why don't we take some input from the commissioners then? Commissioner Clark.
I think that would be great. Your work looks fantastic. I was thinking putting the Homewood landmarks in there myself. Just one suggestion, there's 2 steel plates that are structural. Make sure that's all refinished. It's up at about 11 feet or so above the ground.
Yeah, the way we have it would go about 6-7 feet off the ground, so it wouldn't be.
Right, no, I realize that, but I would hate to see the rust that oozes off of that destroy your work. So it really needs to be not.
Talk to you.
I'll talk to the
Someone needs
building
to-
owner.
Right,
Which building is that on? Is it on the
That's the Lulu Bell.
Lulu Bell building?
right, because it's my understanding, that's where the mural's going on the,
Right,
not on the
Not on
Hartford, right, because that's all.
right, it's on
blocked.
the other.
The lights will go on the Hartford.
Right, okay, right. Yeah, so that would just be one suggestion. I would just, we'd hate to see rust streaks coming down on it, you know, and. So after 5 years' time, it's gonna show like a rusty antenna on the roof.
Absolutely.
Well pointed out.
So, all right, Commissioner, Quirk.
Yeah, I guess I have a question about not so much the murals themselves, but the structure of what you're proposing. This seems like a staff-driven idea, not that there's anything wrong with that, but there's a lot of detail left out about, you know, where the money comes from. And most importantly, in my mind, who picks the murals and where they go.
Mhm.
You know, that was a large, you know, when the current murals went in, which is a long time ago. There was a group that decided where they were gonna go and what they were going to look like. And so that's why, you know, when you look at the service station, that's 187th to Dixie. You know, it looks like a service station on the side of the
Right.
wall, but, you know, and it sort of goes with the function that's being carried out there. You know, these are clearly not in line with that. Now, let me be clear about that. I'm not saying they have to be that way,
Yeah,
but I am saying. All due respect, but I don't want you picking.
Yeah.
That's why I said all due respect. I don't want you guys picking either.
Mhm.
Cause that's just, in my mind, we're gonna get complaints about that.
Mhm.
Let me put it that way. And the alternative is easier and nicer. You know, if you look at like, if you look at Flossmoor, they've already got a public arts mission, something like that.
They do.
That does exactly what I'm talking about, that picks. Mostly sculpture. But, you know, where it goes and how long and where it gets moved around, et cetera. And so, you know, and people, that's a wanted position for them. So. I just think we need to think about, I'm not saying that's the structure.
yeah,
I'm not saying that's the structure. But I am saying that I think we ought to think about what the structure is. You know, who pays and who and where they go and what they look like.
Because I don't know the history, I wasn't here, who was the group that chose the Richard Haas,
I'm sorry, who was the what?
the Richard Haas murals? Who was the group that did that? Was there a special commission?
As far as I know, it wasn't us, and I honestly don't know who.
Okay, I didn't know either. I don't know the
You know,
history.
you know, is Elaine Eggleston.
She might. Yeah.
Yeah, she probably would.
And we don't, you know, to the best of my knowledge, we don't have, like the beautification committee. That would be there would be a large expansion of their
Yeah, that's not
responsibility.
there.
Thank you.
Their
I'm glad I see, no.
Yeah,
And so, again, I think we just would be smart to think about it. The structure of
understand.
it, okay? Love the
Yeah.
idea of it, love it.
I think that would,
Oh, and I'll just ask one more question. You know, based on what you're proposing, how much are we talking about? Money,
7,000.
7,000 each? So-
Well, we're just doing this one right now, just $7,000 for this first mural.
this is just for one
Fine,
mural we're
yeah.
looking at today, just one.
That's
And this is the
fine.
kind of thing that usually like, you know, villages often offer like $40,000, this kind of thing, but that would. You know, bring it, application process, like, yours can be very expensive. I've been paid $20,000 for a mural side. It's just something that I want to do, and I think it would help the town, it would be great.
I agree with all those things, but. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, thank you, President.
Well, I'm an artist, so I love the idea. It's very urban, very avant-garde, so I'm excited. I don't really know how you chose art before, but I think it does bring us. So
I
I
think
can't
you're right,
really
yeah.
speak on it, but I think it's a fantastic idea to kind of spruce up some of the buildings out here with some creativity, so.
Lead from the
Commissioner
same.
Shek.
I don't know without saying it can be. How big is the mural going to actually be?
It's about 6 or 7 feet high, and then the length of that wall.
We're not going all the way down. I thought we were going to the first window.
You know,
About,
I don't remember, I was contacted about this in April.
Yeah.
So it's been a while, but, yeah.
Oh.
We have it, the location. I thought there was an image of it.
Yeah, early in the, right there, so there's a location, there's a better angle picture towards the back of the presentation.
Yeah, go to the one with the wall where it shows the actual.
This one right here?
Yeah,
So in the first window, you mentioned the first one in the slide right here?
Yeah, wouldn't go past that first.
Okay,
so it's gonna be long.
and that's the area that I can see the rust that you're
Yeah.
talking about.
It's going to be a long mural,
Yeah, lawn is like low and long.
okay. How wide is the corridor?
Say that one more time.
How wide is the corridor, the walkway?
Probably only 3 feet wide.
No.
6
No,
feet,
no,
it's 6
it
feet,
is 6.
6.5, it's over 6 feet.
There today.
Thank you.
really. I was looking at the wall.
Okay, here's my concern. Murals, in my opinion, my humble opinion, okay, are typically viewed from a distance. And a link, pardon? And a long mural like that. It's gonna be like this, you'll be walking next to the mural. And I don't like that.
Can you go back to the alley? Good. Okay.
I mean, I think it'll work. I've done hallway murals before, and something like that, and there'll be people out there and be like, well, there's that, there's that. I don't think,
I mean, it looks like the width of this, I'm sorry, excuse me.
I don't think personally it needs to
Right.
be the incandescent piece, but.
It looks like basically a sidewalk width.
It's a little bit bigger.
It's a little wider than that.
6'6", a commercial sidewalk then, 6'6". And I understand what you're saying, but I don't agree with you, sir.
Okay.
That's all I wanted to say.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Vance.
My only concern, is this is gonna be painted directly on the brick?
Yeah.
What about wear and tear?
It will last through, it's using high quality commercial paint, it will last through at least 10 years.
10 years is about the longevity of it?
It'll probably last longer than that, but that's what I tell people, it'll be good for 10 years.
Now, in the event of like, God forbid, vandalism or any sort of damage, are you available to repair the mural, or would we have to find someone else to do that?
What I can do is I can coat it, there's like a coating that's like a graffiti, anti-graffiti coating that you can wash off if someone tags it, but. Yeah, one side would be, mural, I would be.
Yeah, I'm just worried about, any damage happening to it. 'cause-
Yeah, so like I said, but I've done murals in high graffiti areas, nothing's ever been tagged, I think there's a. Sort of, I don't know, I'm not, there's a sort of like code among them that they don't,
A respect.
And there's cameras in the alley as well,
Okay.
and it'll be lit.
Yeah, the fact that it is an alley too.
Yeah.
It's off the beaten path, so. Okay, that's all I had to add to it.
All right, thank you. My concern, if it's even a concern. Initially is the village spending money on something that's gonna be in a very enclosed area that really not many people are gonna see. When there's many other things this village needs to spend money on than a mural, although murals we do have are very nice. When I hear $7,000, that's not that much money, so that's kind of lessens my concern about the village spending money on this. However, I do think it's forward thinking. I think it's a very good idea.
Yeah.
I'm glad there's gonna be lighting in there. That's gonna be necessary, especially people in the evenings are gonna be going through there. As far as the vandalism and as far as using something like this to draw people to Homewood, has there been any consideration of having a live camera put in there?
Say,
People from around the world can look at this mural, like, oh, look at that, that's pretty cool.
that's a good idea.
Not to mention the public safety aspect of being in that space at night. When there will be people in there looking at this and, stuff happens.
That's a good
But
idea.
I don't think it's very expensive if we're gonna do this, if we're already spending $7,000 to put a live cam in there. But like Flossmoor has one at their train station, and not many people watch it, I have.
They do, I
course.
didn't know that.
So that might be something to consider for the graffiti end of that, if somebody does that, but also, you know, safety and drawing people to the community.
Yeah.
If we're gonna do something like this, then we need to advertise it, so people, hey, come and take a look at this, I mean, it's art.
Absolutely.
Oh, and I think it's extremely important that it reflects the village, it reflects the town, so I'm glad there's a list of landmarks, but what are the 9 landmarks?
How do you think out there?
The water tower for sure.
The Dairy Queen, 1700 Ridge Road, Village Hall, Auditorium, Amtrak Station, Metro Train, Railroad Tracks, Got Shelf House, Casino plus Hotel Tower, Hibbing Building, Homewood Brewing Company, and Water Tower.
Any suggestions you guys would like to offer?
I'm gonna play devil's advocate, because that's part of what we have to do. If we're going to put public, or if we're gonna put businesses up there, like other businesses say, wait a minute. You got Dairy Queen and Homewood Brewery, why don't you have our business? We think we're important. I'm not saying not to include them.
Yeah,
I think that Dairy Queen is a staple of this town. I mean, it's what people wait for and read the sign every day. Homewood Brewing isn't even open yet.
we were going for like unique buildings, like where people could point out. So anything unique to Homewood, I think we're more than open.
Yeah,
Or
What's the historical society house on there?
yeah, the Doorband House would be a good thing.
If the business goes out of business.
We could do that.
Certainly don't want to put parking.
That'd be a good one.
No, it said the business goes out of business.
We chose,
Yeah.
one of the reasons we chose some of these landmarks is because we did a couple of polls when we were doing our
Really?
plan and asked people their favorite buildings in town, and the Dairy Queen was one of them, like some of the buildings that everybody in town knew.
Yeah,
But yeah, we definitely want suggestions for,
I think the Doorband House is a must.
I have another thought, in terms of Dairy Queen, 'cause I know everybody's really partial to the tree at Dairy Queen. So
Oh,
maybe,
true.
Yeah,
maybe the tree could be represented in a way.
that's a very old cottonwood, I think. That tree's not going anywhere, it survived a tornado.
Hey. Don't fall down with the last.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's duly noted. We can definitely.
any
before
other
lock it.
landmarks that you think say Homewood?
I'm always at the library, so.
The library was brought up actually as one of the buildings when we did our survey.
I also see it from
Keep in
afar.
mind, when you find the list that, I need to be able to represent it in very simplistic fashion, so like, if there's nothing distinctive about the building, it's gonna be really hard to have it be something that people identify.
I think that's why Homewood Brewing is easy, because you can
Yeah.
identify it.
The only other thing I can think of is the Park Avenue side old train station. I mean, that's a classic. That's not being changed as far as I remember, right?
That's not,
Yeah.
that was one of the things on the list, though.
Oh, did you say it and I just missed
Yeah,
it?
it's the Amtrak station.
Amtrak station.
That was on the list, yeah.
Okay, well, that's all. That's all the input I have. I mean, I do think it's a very good idea and I'm glad it's only 7,000. From a taxpayer point of view, because I know we'll hear stuff about it. Anything else? Yes.
Question. So, we spent a lot of money and put in a lot of time a little while ago, 18 months ago. To sort of identify, things that could be done in downtown Homewood to reflect that transportation hub beam. And, part, the restaurant and everything. So if we could, kind of mesh that into, that would be logical.
We have a lot to think about.
Yeah.
That's why I thought the train, that's why we said the metro tracks, maybe going through it in the station.
But I still want to go back to what Brian said in that who's going to make the final decision on what it looks like and the artist will have his input, but.
Well, he said he's gonna just freestyle it.
I mean, I'll have it, and what's not gonna freestyle, like, I don't plan on doing mock-up, but like, I'll have a pretty good idea in my head of like what. All the landmarks will be in it, I'll have, sketches done in advance, kind of, and then Probably, I would go, that would probably go in first, put those in, and then work around it.
Well, I mean, I like your work, everything that I saw looked good, so.
I have
Yeah,
a comment. If there's like an error in the design before you seal coat it, would you be willing to like, you know, fix that? Like say there's just a building that's off?
Sure.
All right, I think that's it then. We don't have anything to vote on, but thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Can you, just, what kind of schedule are we talking?
So yeah, after this, we were gonna meet as a staff, and I know you wanted to get it done this month. We were hoping.
Yeah, well, the
sometime
sooner the
this month.
better, because in Chicago, after Halloween, it's pretty hard to paint a mural.
Yep.
It's like, paint acts differently when cold, so yeah, and I need about a week to do it, so, that gives us, September.
Yeah, so, and we're anticipating putting up the light soon, so we wouldn't want to conflict with, both projects going on at the same time, so. We'll probably get together and make sure we get something in.
So based on that, you said you've already had a little bit of polling. Did we poll any members of the board? And the
Yes,
mayor?
I think we did.
Trustee Heiferman, the mayor has been included on this.
Yeah, the trustees were,
They're all aware of we actually had them at the alley to discuss the mural that was gonna go there, so everybody is familiar with the project.
All right. Well, thank you very much. I
Thank
look
you.
forward to seeing it. Before the end of October.
Yeah.
Great, thank you very much. All right, so previous case was continued
vote on
next
that?
time, so.
Or do we vote on that?
There's nothing about it.
so now the,
We didn't improve it.
Good improved it, I guess.
It's okay, thank you. Just wanted clarification. Oh, you gotta go back to the share. Just a country board.
Well, we're gonna do it together.
Um,
All right, so we're gonna go back to case 2429, the appearance review for Starbucks at 3047 West 183rd Street. No, whenever you're ready.
All right, good evening, Commission. I'll try to make this pretty short and sweet. But I want to introduce case 2429. A proposed Starbucks coffee shop and drive-through restaurant located at 3047 West 183rd Street. You in the last meeting looked at the larger lot that this is surrounded by, which is the Ollie's development, and you've probably seen the sign and some of the improvements going on there. This is an outlot located in the former parking area of that retail center. You can see it here, and then here's a better image that shows you where that is. It's kind of that large foreground piece of the, or I guess the northwest corner of that lot, right up to 183rd Street. So it's proposing just a single, about 2,400 square foot building with a drive-through included in that, outdoor dining patio. Just some quick facts about the site plan for it. 25 parking spaces and a full landscaping, lighting, signage build out. Since this is currently a what was formerly parking lot area that's now being converted into kind of a full separate development piece. I wanted to show just color graphics. These are included in your packet as well, but it really shows what that new development will look like set within the broader redevelopment happening around this area. So you can see that site with the drive-through window kind of facing towards the existing commercial development to the east. Using that existing entry point off of 183rd Street to the north, and then creating some new access points into that other surrounding development on the south and the east sides there. So it's pretty small on this screen. It might be a little bit bigger on the TV screen there. But again, just another graphic showing the site concept. The landscaping plan here, utilizing a pretty significant number of canopy trees, more than required. A pretty diverse array of landscaping that was reviewed by the village arborist, and received a lot of work in partnership between the applicant and staff on that review. Here's the landscape plan again. The building design primarily uses a mixture of a brick veneer and a fiber cement board, also known as a Nichiha board with kind of a traditional wood kind of finish to it. Nichiha being a brand name for that. It's and so you'll see that those two materials take up the vast majority of the building area. And then towards the rear where we will have more kind of kitchen service areas, that has a stucco finish along the top half of the building in the rear there. So the frontage that's facing 183rd Street is what you're seeing in the I guess the rightmost of the two photos on the screen. And you'll see that those renderings show that really prominent brick and fiber cement board material there. And then a closer look at those materials is available in your packet as well. Lighting design, using a couple different lighting features, sconce lighting for kind of an architecturally integrated lighting on the building. And then mostly pole lights. The patio will be lit by more of a pedestrian scale pole that's brought much lower and then brought to a lower wattage just to provide a little bit more of a pedestrian feel. And then recessed lighting, canopy lighting included in both of the canopies on the north side and on the west side or east side of the development. And then some signage. These are conceptual. The final signage package will be submitted as part of a sign permit review application, but this just gives you a sense of the signage that'll be distributed across the site. And the menu boards are kind of unique to that drive-through piece that you're going to see on this development site. But otherwise, you'll see the monument sign, some of the smaller freestanding directional signs, the wall signage as well. So the recommendation from staff is to approve case 2429, the appearance review for the Starbucks, subject to a handful of conditions, and I wanted to very quickly walk you through these. One of them, the very first one, is just a revision suggested by the village arborist to replace some juniper shrubs with a couple of other more preferred alternatives from village staff. Just in terms of maintenance, in terms of collecting trash, things like that. They're just preferred from the village arborist. Then the other three are just plan revisions to ensure that any changes that were made through the review process, all plans align for the final submittal, so that when we're doing review applications, things like that, everything aligns with what's been presented and approved by you this evening. So with that, I will turn it over to the applicant. Thank you for your time.
Great. Welcome.
Thank you.
You could tell us your name.
Yes, sure. George Arnold. I'm the attorney appearing on behalf of the applicant.
Thank you, George.
And you're welcome. And we appreciate the work of staff. I think our team has worked well with staff and kind of gotten to where we are right now. And we agree with the 4 recommendations. We're happy to make the revisions set forth in number 1 and then comply with numbers 2, 3, and 4. You know, it's Starbucks. They have their own brand. I'm sure everybody is not surprised by the appearance of the building. It's kind of the brand or their style building that's been going up for the last many years. So other than that, happy to answer any questions. And
All right, great. Well, we'll start with the Commissioner Preston.
I'm just surprised there's another Starbucks, but I mean, everything looks like it's part of the marketing and branding, so I really don't have questions regarding that. I'm just surprised we have another Starbucks coming. So
We used to have 3 now.
We had 3 before.
yeah.
Okay, thank you. I don't want me to say something just 1 second.
Like you didn't say, Mr. Sheffield, do you have any questions?
Commissioner.
I have no questions.
worth the wait.
Commissioner Banks.
No question.
Commissioner Clark.
No questions. Looks great.
Yeah, can you just give me a comparison, you know, of like compare this one to that one? You know, the one that's existing in town already?
Comparison, I mean, I can't because I'm not familiar with it, but you mean comparison by looks or by?
Square footage.
Yeah, I don't know if you can, but I don't know what the other one is.
No, I don't know.
Okay.
We have 3 in town, and I know that the one on Harwood and the one on Homestead are very different.
This is pretty standard to
But
practically anyone. I think.
It looks it. I'm
Well,
just-
it's from ground up, so it's
Right.
your branding, it's, you go for the square footage and everything. The others were in existing spaces, so you deal with what you deal with.
And you don't have any internal pictures, right? No pictures that. Nothing further.
Okay, great. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. It's Starbucks. I mean,
Yeah.
how many times have you been in Starbucks? I'm glad there were some revisions done with the landscaping, especially with, I think this says the removal of honey locust. Because if it says the inclusion of honey locust, those the male version tends to have dangerous spikes on them that can really go right through anybody, a car. Reason being is I've got one in my driveway and it is dangerous. So, if it's honey locust, that should be the female honey locust, not the male. Because it could create a serious hazard.
The village recommended the removal of those just to,
Okay, well, I wasn't
provide
sure
more
here.
visual diversity. on
Yeah,
everything.
good. Then he chose well. That might be something to consider for Starbucks too. That's not.
Yeah,
anything that- I mean, that's a litigation potential.
It's a good point. They try not to injure their customers. I
Yeah,
think. That's a good
trust
point.
me, I've stepped on one. It's not fun. Other than that, I mean, I see that everything as I was reading through this meets or complies with the village and you're willing to make the changes, which I think is great. So without further ado,
Can I jump back in?
go ahead.
Just a quick one, how many other outlots are there planned for that site?
There's one other.
One other,
So-
and
On the other side.
On the other side, there will be another
you
outlet.
mean to the east,
Yes.
and
The,
it's in the same sort of position, like right up against 183rd.
yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it's the northeast corner, kind of.
So the property was subdivided into 3 lots and the two outlots are owned by one developer and then the building is separate.
You'll see it
There
right
it
there.
is.
Yep, the
The
white
white
box. I love
Yeah, I
it. It's
thought
left out.
that was it, but.
That's the other outlet.
Nothing's there though. We're not decided for that. All right, so if there's nothing else, then do I have a motion to approve case 2924 Starbucks at 3047 West 183rd Street as proposed on the site plan, site deals, landscape, site details, landscape plans, lighting, electrical plans, and renderings submitted by Homewood Retail Management LLC dated August 20th, 24. Subject to the following conditions. 1, revised landscape plan replacing juniper shrubs, and I'm not going to attempt to pronounce the Greek pronunciation, those in parentheses, with semi-green woody shrub, cameo, blah, 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 I can't pronounce that either, or another alternative approved by the village arborist prior to site plan approval. 2, revised landscape plan indicating mulch cover on all interior parking landscape areas with material approved by the village arborist prior to site plan approval. 3, submit a detailed drawing indicating electrical and trash enclosure screening materials and dimensions prior to site plan approval. And finally, 4, submit a revised lighting and electrical plan indicating revised photometric values and lighting details prior to site plan approval.
So moved.
Second. All right, roll call, please.
Member Banks?
Aye.
Member Shefke?
Aye.
Member Preston?
Aye.
Member Quirk?
Hi,
Member Club?
Hi.
Chair Ryman?
Aye. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Look forward
Thanks
to
for your
your
time.
coming back.
yeah,
Thanks.
Yeah, welcome, yeah, thank you.
My
Thank
daughter
you.
appreciates
Good to
it.
see you. This doesn't need to go to the board. This is the bill. The plan
Sure,
is
sure.
over. Okay, review.
All right,
That's because there was no time about it.
and then old business. I have several things I'd like to ask about, but we'll go to the commissioners first. Yeah, I know. Right, Commissioner Buck, anything?
No.
Any old business?
We should have-
There we go.
I have several statuses that I'd like to get, but I'll yield to you.
All right. Well, anything? Anything? All right, some things I'd like to first, say great job, you guys, on the, new parking signs that have gone up around town. They look great. Very nice well, over here, I'm seeing parking signs that have gone up by the train station. I think there's 1 or 2 others I've seen that it's nice. They're starting to
Mhm.
go up as you guys had mentioned in the past, directional signs directing people to where they can park and around town. That's great. And I know there's more coming, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
there are more.
But that's great. I mean, that's something we had discussed a while ago, and it's great to see that come to fruition. It's fantastic. In going around town, though, looking at some things, I know I'm not even gonna ask when the breweries are open, because I know it's gonna be soon. But they're not even open yet, and they're already not maintaining their landscape. I walk by there often. I walked by there yesterday. I'm looking, it's weeds all over where they had this beautiful these beautiful plantings. I know we're in a drought, but they don't appear to be watering much of anything. They've already got 1 dead tree. And the others are going fast, so they haven't even opened yet, and they don't appear to be maintaining their property. And I think as when we met with them, that was something we stressed, you know, I know I do. So I would have gone in there and said something, but there's nobody to talk to since it's not open.
Yeah,
So if the village can do anything, just to give them a nudge, or somebody say something like, hey, could you maintain, I mean, you're not even open yet.
we can definitely do that.
I would appreciate that, yeah,
Yep.
because it's a concern. I mean, it tells me what's gonna happen in the future if they're
Yes.
not even.
Benign
maintaining it.
neglect.
I would totally echo what he just said.
What's going on with the Hibbing building? The
Yeah.
donut place, ever since the quibble with the village,
Yeah.
it's just stopped.
No, he's been working.
Yeah, you've seen.
I look in those windows all the time and I don't see anything
The
different.
permit for the ground floor, it's been approved, but we're still waiting for the actual permit application to come in, all the contractors are registered, so we can price it out and issue it.
That's
That's
outstanding.
all we're waiting on.
Oh, good.
They got their signed permit approval, that's been issued. They're redoing the second floor, it's him and his wife themselves, they're supposed to be living up there. So we're just waiting on him to get us the last.
Oh, good.
information.
Because it looks from the outside, it's like, man, this
Yeah,
is such a
it-
great idea.
It's
This
been,
is both functions, the hot dog place and the donut place.
what was the signage for?
Both,
Really?
yeah.
I
It's
did
hot
not know
dog,
that.
I forget what
I
it's
didn't see
called,
that.
one's is old fashioned donut, and the other says hot dogs or something like that,
Yeah.
yeah.
I didn't even see that
That was
sign.
issued last week, I think.
That's outstanding. Oh, that's good to hear. Okay, I feel good about that. Another thing is the building across from Citgo, across from Lassen's rather, the old Citgo.
Yes.
And is there anything going on that really
Yes.
looks?
Yeah, we actually, the village manager and I met with the developer of that property. The village owns that. We are working with a developer who will actually come before the appearance commission soon
Good.
to do a restaurant there. So
He was
Well-
here before, wasn't he?
it,
I know the initial idea was there was going to be a restaurant attached to
Yeah.
the.
it was a
Part of it.
Sitco before. And so part of what we had to do was, we had to do some work to get an NFR, no further remediation letter. We just got that letter. And the property won't be disturbed. The building will be renovated for a restaurant with an outdoor seating area. So,
Wasn't he talking about, I remember seeing it before where it was like a multi-purpose restaurant and something else.
I know it was a Sitco at one time. It
No, I
could
know,
have been
I know it was Citgo.
before that, though.
No. After Citgo,
Huh.
sometime since I've been on the appearance commission, I thought we talked about this before.
We
Possibly.
did, yeah. It was
Thank
gonna be attached to the station next door. They were gonna have an extension and that was supposed to be a restaurant.
Okay,
Having something to do with the gas station. But that all kind of.
all right, thank you.
Came to fruition.
So, do we have a few words about what kind of a restaurant?
You know, it's, I don't at this point. He's still refining the menu.
Thank you.
So.
The only other thing, I was just curious how things are going with Lubu, and are we gonna have any? Are we gonna have a meeting there about signage for Lubu, the restaurant that's going in there next?
I'm sick.
Okay, Prime 69. And is there anything happening with that? Do we know?
Yeah, they don't need a building permit for the work they're doing inside, but they are working inside.
And they're not gonna need to sign anything for that or? sign-
I haven't seen
I haven't
anything.
seen the sign permit come in yet, they did start their business license application, but they didn't complete it, so we haven't even started processing it yet.
Oh, okay. cool.
One of the things they do want to do, which would have to come to you, is to use that outdoor area, where there used to be a drive-through as a seating area with a bar, on the outside.
Really?
So
Enclosed,
they have some creative ideas, I think, about that.
enclosed or open? Enclosed space or?
Not
open?
completely enclosed, but more like what Lassen's has, you know, like a three season
season.
kind of with the heaters and
Yeah,
some kind of removable or area.
That'll be great.
that'd be very good, yeah.
I like, things are going with forward thinking here lately. That's all I've got.
Status on the train station. Still says 2024.
2025, April of 2025, I think is the date for that opening. Mhm.
It's government work.
No, is there any new business we need to hear about it?
I don't think so.
Did someone ever, in the stairwell, when you're going upstairs to the metro station, when it rains, the water sits on the tile, so it's not a drain tile?
Really?
Yeah, so that's over time, it's gonna start to. promote.
That's the new area?
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, Member President, you brought that, and when we did the Gottschalk House review, I remember you brought that up as an item of business, and I did refer that on to Napoleon, the day after the meeting, and I think it got lumped into a call with the, I guess with the Metro affiliates or.
So is it still happening?
Yeah.
Cause that's been a while.
When you're walking up the stairs, I think it's like after the ninth step, there's that landing right there.
Yeah.
and The water sits there.
Okay, that's good to know. I will look into that.
Maybe that's a water filter.
In line
It's
with
designed-
Commissioner Shefke's idea earlier about seeing murals from afar. Can we talk to the Metro about putting one on one of those boards on, you know, in the station?
We already talked about
We talked to them about that when they were before the appearance commission.
it. That was brought up then, and they said, oh, yeah, we'll do that.
They
Well,
did say they would do that.
A little more concrete now, right?
They did
Talk to them
say,
again? Cause I think that's,
Very
I think your idea is absolutely right.
it was supposed to say Homewood or something.
Well, they've got that impressed Homewood there, but we were talking about the opposite side of that.
Yeah, no, but that's facing the tracks.
Yeah,
I remember that discussion.
so we need them to
Yeah,
keep their promise because it could.
Right,
it
you're
could look
right.
Great, but that would be on them since they said they would do it.
Uh-huh.
And something like these
Very
murals,
good.
you know,
mhm.
uh,
Well, be great if we can get a camera in there, but that's another expense. All right, I think that's all we've got. So do I have a motion to adjourn at 6:50? Sorry, 3.
So move. Go ahead.
Second?
I second.
All right, great. All in favor of adjournment, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right,
Who was the person?
perfect timing.
is that a clarinet?
And then next time we'll have the Winfrey, hopefully they'll be here.
Mhm.
Take that up. So that means there will be a meeting next.
Yes, we will have a meeting next month.
We'll have a couple other items, I think, on that agenda.
Future plan.
That's a future plan.
Wow.
They plan to have.
I know, but they don't have it now.